everybody, and welcome to another episode of Too Weird Didn't Watch, the show where we make fun of
movies based on nothing more than their odd descriptions.
Yes, I am Albert.
I'm Brantley.
And I'm going to be reading for us today, starting things off with a little movie called Mutants.
Are they new?
No, these are the old Mutants. Wolverine. It's basically just Xavier and...
It's just Wolverine.
It's just the very old
Wolverine, Sabretooth, and Apocalypse just at a bar. Just complaining about the new kids today.
When two brothers, Josh and Mike... Do you think... Hold on, let's go back. Do you think...
Derailment achieved.
Do you think that Professor X and Magneto sort of resent Wolverine for not aging?
Not really, because he has kind of a father-son relationship in the movies.
Yeah,
Magneto would be like, dude, that's awesome. Because Magneto thinks every little mutation is the best thing ever.
Right, but even though Magneto has superpowers, he's getting up there in age. At least he is in the movies, I assume.
Well, he was, like a teenager in World War II, so yeah.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is they're going to have to,
exponentially older in age.
They're either going to have to, explain, that he's somehow
a mutant,
immortal.
He's ages slower.
Okay, fine. But... he's gotta have, achy joints.
Look at...
The ability to control magnetism does not stop you from, having...
I have nothing but joint replacements. He's held all the hip replacement, and they don't hurt him because he has magnet powers.
I guess. Anyway, that's
he can rip the iron out of a dude's blood and use it to stand on.
Is that in the movies or
this
the
is the second one?
Okay.
I mean, he had a bunch of iron in him, but still.
Yeah, they injected some metal or something.
Yeah.
Seems like you wouldn't survive that. When two brothers, Josh and Mike, go to a small southern town for vacation, they find most of the residents either dead or missing.
That's called a ghost town. Are they fresh corpses?
Yeah, that's an interesting question. It's just
it's man, there's skeletons everywhere.
No, that was just the opioid epidemic followed on the heels of, the Great Recession. Everybody just left, dude. There's nothing sinister.
This is so horrifying. It's not really, man.
I mean, the opioid epidemic is
Josh is just
horrifying.
in the drama club and takes everything way too serious.
Where did they all go? Well, most of them lived here 100 years ago, so they did eventually
what is a small
die.
town? It's just it's a gold rush town, yeah? They left when the mine dried up.
I don't know if there are many gold rushes in the South.
Southern California.
Fair enough.
Haha!
When Mike himself goes missing...
Himself?
Mike himself.
Even Mike.
Josh teams up with the local sheriff and an attractive school teacher.
Sorry, I'm just everyone's dead or missing, so he's just carrying corpses around with him. We're gonna solve it, Sheriff! Ain't that right, Miss Sunamel? It's just this crazy dude, and Mike just left him because he's I'm done with this guy.
Just, by the way, just want to point out, we don't have any read on whether the sheriff is attractive, just the teacher. The sheriff probably ugly as a box of rocks.
Have we been given genders?
No.
Then the teacher's just a good-looking dude.
I think so as well. Yeah, they're both guys. But the sheriff, not a looker.
No.
Young enough to be. He just has real bad acne scars and kind of overweight. Plays too much Xbox. There's not a lot to do in the small town,
Everyone's dead. It's just him and the teacher until these two kids showed up and then one of them went missing.
The teacher didn't want the job.
He has no one to teach now. Everyone's just bored.
He is just collecting his paycheck from the school board.
I show up every day. And then I play Pong.
Anyway, they teams up with those two to find him until Josh discovers that the whole town and most of its people have been infected by a form of toxic waste.
How do you get infected by toxic waste?
Also, it's like a form. It's not a toxic waste. It's a form. How many forms of toxic waste are there?
A bunch. It's just any waste that is toxic.
Okay, but why can't we just...
That's a very open description. Mostly, it's...
As an editor, I'm saying you could have made the sentence better by just saying infected by toxic waste. A form of did not give us anything
unless
additional.
The waste is sentient and is controlling them as puppets.
Oh.
Zombie puppets.
The best...
Toxic zombie puppets.
Okay, so... here's the thing. This atomic waste. They explain what it does in the last part of this last sentence. And they have all been turned into toxic vampires who prowl the streets at night for human blood.
Because puppets.
What's a toxic vampire? A vampire is generally just dangerous because it'll kill you. It's not a poison thing.
I mean, vampirism is kind of an allegory for blood diseases. and STDs.
Okay, maybe. I do see the STD thing with the way a lot of vampire films structure that, you know, Bright Dracula macking on Mina Harker and stuff, so that kind of makes sense. But I don't know. It seems a little bit unlikely, Brantley.
Not really mutants, though. I mean, I guess they were mutated into vampires, but then so are normal vampires. It's mutated by supernatural means.
It's not a mutant from the standpoint of the X-Men comics. Those people have to be born with powers, right?
They're not even really... I mean, I guess they kind of are, but...
I mean, they call them that.
They have a mutated X gene, but it's across an entire species. At that point, that's just a new species.
But they are all unique.
Like, literally every single human is a mutant in some way or other.
Okay.
They just don't have superpowers. Except for Michael Phelps.
Except for Michael Phelps. Next up, we have Demon Wind, which is a cool name.
Yeah, it's all right.
What's your issue with Demon Wind?
That sounds like a 90s band trying to be like an 80s metal band. We are Demon Wind! Billy, turn down the music.
Mom, just a few more minutes!
It's not a phase, Mom. It's who I am. Okay, Billy.
I told you to call me Demon the Betrayer.
Billy, your mom sucks. Shut up, Ralph. Ralph and Billy, garage band kids.
We are introduced to 1931.
Is that what's happening right now?
Well, that's the first sentence of Demon Wind.
All right.
Hi, 1931. I'm Albert. This is my friend Brantley.
This is 1931. You know, times aren't super great, but they're doing better than they're going to be in a few years.
A body is being burned on a cross.
Wow. Okay, this took a turn.
Yeah, a woman named...
Somewhat bleak in a movie called Demon Wind.
Yeah, who'd have thunk it? A body's being burned on a cross. A woman named Regina is at a farm. There's nobody standing to my right, is there?
No.
Okay.
There's a lamp and a window.
I had a moment there where I saw something out of the corner of my eye, and I heard something, and I was like, fight or flight reflex, and there was nothing there.
Fight or flight reflex. Look at it.
I spend a lot of, like, especially when I'm in public, I have the vaguest delusion that there's something that is, like, not real about it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that I potentially that I'm acting something out that, only I can see.
I occasionally get that when I'm driving. I'm just like, why does someone let me do this?
Oh, okay. I guess that. I
get it so real that I'm moving this giant machine.
I get a lot in church when I'm if we're singing and I'm standing up and I'm thinking what if at this very instant it was revealed to me that I was standing up singing by myself and everybody else wasn't, and they're just.
He's into it, but it's kind of a somber moment, buddy. Calm it down. Glory, glory, hallelujah. We're talking about the Last Supper, man.
Topical. Well, today it is. It won't be by the time this comes out. Anyway, a woman named Regina is at a farm and attempting to barricade a door from where beyond demons try to enter. Just reading this as written.
Wait.
She's trying to attempting to barricade a door.
So in my head, it's just
beyond.
In my head, this guy's jotting this down as it's happening for some reason. So it's title card. Okay, 1931. There's a burning cross and moves past it and she's boarding up the door, so they're either inside a building she's trying to keep them in. But in my mind, she's adjacent to the burning cross for reasons.
Oh, okay. I don't know. I didn't think about which side of the door she was on.
And then demon hands are crawling. So
my initial suspicion was that she was inside because I thought that the cross is probably burning outside. I think we can make that assumption.
Mm-hmm.
If it's burning inside, that's just buck wild.
She's just not having a fun day at all then.
They're never going to get that soot off the ceiling either. You're going to paint over it, but the smell will be there.
Yeah. Especially with the grease from the human body.
I thought that... I'm thinking that she's inside and the demons are outside.
Okay. Her
husband, George, transforms into a demon instead and kills her. Instead of what? It's not super well written, Brantley, and that's fine. 60 years later.
Okay.
By the way,
1991.
Of the many, many problems
I was born this year
with this description, the 60 years later writing has dashes between it. It's 60-years later, which is not how you're supposed to write that. Just writing tips from Albert this time around. After the suicide of his father, a young man named Corey, the grandson of Regina and George. I guess we know. No, they didn't. Maybe they didn't make it out alive.
Well, George is a demon.
Right, but he attacked Regina, so they must have had kids already. So so this is a young man named George. Or no, I'm sorry. What's his young man named Corey? Not capitalized, by the way. So if we're gonna say about 20, he was born in.
Well, he's the grandson.
Yeah. So I'm trying to go back to how old his dad would have been when he was born. If he was born 20 years before 1991, in 1971, that is his dad was like 40 when he had him, I guess. If he was an infant at this time in 1931, that's doable, I guess.
Old dad.
Well, I mean, he could have been much older as long as his mom was young.
Fair enough.
Why are we spending... That was the most worthless rabbit trail I've ever gone on. Brantley, I regret it. I regret it to my core.
We'll find a worse one, don't worry. You were talking about Corey and his name being
his girlfriend, the grandson of Regina and George, and his girlfriend Elaine. We don't get to find out who she's the granddaughter of.
Or how old she is.
Along with their... Well, I assume that she's also
Just keep
young.
going now.
Along with a group of their friends, travel up to the farm, where the events took place 60 years before, so that Corey can figure out what happened to his grandparents. Corey?
What version was he told?
Yeah.
He just been told, like, yeah, they died, they got old. I'm sorry. I had you when I was 40.
There's a real... how bad...
They were old when they had me. We just have kids younger and you get to see your grandkids.
Yeah, also, I guess, I mean, I hate to go back into this, Brantley, but if he has been told a story about what happened to his grandparents, it has to be from someone who witnessed it. So, which means that his dad must have been old enough to remember.
His dad had an older sibling.
Possibly, or it's the town folks.
Or the mom survived and was
or
like,
that.
You know what? He may be a demon now, but I still love him.
Corey's going up there to find out what happened to her, and she's like, I've been here this whole time waiting for you with cookies and milk.
Your dad never calls. Why does he never call? Corey's friends just in there awkwardly, just shuffling.
George is like walking around the house. Hey, Corey.
Hey, Corey.
Still looks like a demon.
He's like one of the straight up demons from Childhood's End. Just big cloven hood, red dude with bat wings. It's like, hey, Corey, how you doing, son? Dude, is that your granddad? Yeah. I think he's the devil.
You had a falling out with your dad when he wanted to be in a rock band, but we're sure glad you're here.
We try to raise him a good Christian boy. Grandpa, you're a demon. A Christian demon.
I'm a demon that likes me some classical music, son.
I may not be able to go to church, but I listen outside.
They soon come under attack by a band of vicious demons. Because demons, I guess. I mean, it is called Demon Wind. And when the kids try to escape, a mysterious fog brings them back to the farm.
Was it brought by the wind?
We can only assume.
Ooh.
The only... This next sentence starts with the phrase "the only good thing," and I'm really looking forward to what the only good thing is.
It better be great. Better be George.
The only good thing is that they are protected by a shield that prevents the demons from entering the house.
That didn't work out for his grandma, did it?
Maybe it's one of those Harry Potter type
things. Or he
things.
wasn't a demon yet.
Well, no, I'm thinking.
And he's in there, he's like, you know what? Being a demon does sound good. I'll take the deal.
She like, you know how Harry Potter is protected because his parents like sacrificed themselves.
Oh, okay, right.
Right. So she was trying that, probably trying to protect her grandson or her son at the time. It didn't, but the spell didn't work the same way as it does in Harry Potter. It just protected the area.
Okay.
Anyway, that's it for Demon Wind.
I like the more like weird sitcom-y family where George is just a demon.
Well, to be fair, we don't know that that's not true. They're still in the house. Like, oh man, we got them demons banging on the door again. Regina, I told you to board up them windows.
Regina, what's for dinner?
What's for demon? It's a Freudian slip. Next up, we have swamp zombies.
All right. Is it a sequel to Swamphead?
Sure. I don't remember a lot about Swamphead, but yes.
That's like the first episode, so that's fine.
A chief physician at a
we
large...
somehow got along to a head that was sentient being carried around by an alligator as his pet.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. That rings a bell. The chief physician at a large metropolitan hospital is formulating a serum to resurrect the recently deceased.
That's a weird place to have a hospital. Middle of a swamp?
No, it's at a large metropolitan. Metropolitan means in the middle of a city.
But there's swamps.
Well, maybe... Okay, yeah, no, so let's see. We're going to continue with the description.
Okay.
When his facility comes under inspection from the federal government. It wasn't just a state government inspection, right? It wasn't one of those local dudes. The feds showed up. The federal government is one of those phrases that you cannot say without a southern accent. The federal government.
The federal government.
No, it doesn't work. It just doesn't sound right. You need the federal government. It's coming to take my guns.
Guns?
My guns.
How many vowels?
I got my rights. I got my rights. The federal government can't tell me what to do, Brantley.
To a point, they can.
Yes, they can. That
why we put
is
them in
actually
charge.
an accurate statement. Thank you. When is... Oh, sorry. Yeah, it comes under investigation. The doctor is forced to dispose of the quote-unquote patients as quick as possible.
He's sitting there, he's like, I'm making zombies. What do you want? No.
They are already
We
dead.
have rules against that.
Is there a rule against that?
Well,
What if someone...
I don't know if there's like an ethics issue, and then the government has already planned on how to deal with zombies, so I don't know.
I get the plan for dealing with zombies is mostly a publicity stunt by the CDC, which is fine. I'm totally on board with that. Anyway.
It's a basic how to deal with an outbreak in general.
Yes.
With zombies, because people like zombies.
Yes.
Which is bizarre.
He has to dispose of them as quickly as possible, even though they are in mid-experiment, and he doesn't know if his serum will even work. Because it's Coke Zero. And he's just been injecting people with it for like the last 30 years.
It's new Coke.
That's where it all went. With the help of the...
Nobody's buying this. I can use them to make zombies. I'll buy all of it.
With the help of the evil hospital operations manager. He manages...
I like to think that's his job title. Why do we even hire someone for that? All right.
Like there was some nice people that applied for it, and they were excellent
But he was
hospital operations
cutthroat enough.
managers. But they weren't evil hospital operation managers. Like, listen, let's hear a maniacal laugh. And they're like, no, I'm sorry. You have an excellent resume, and that's
like outstanding, really.
Your
It's
Harvard
almost a
degree
work
is
of
great,
art.
but we need somebody who can like the best of them.
You're strictly an evil hospital. You must have no morals or a good laugh.
Anyway,
Or some disfigurement.
He dumps the experiments in the neighboring swamplands. So there's the swamps. Little do they know their serum works.
I feel that
They should know at least a little bit.
I feel cremation would be a little faster than just trucking it out of the metropolis into the swamp to
Cremation
dump
takes
bodies.
a lot of like preparation, though. And you can't just like burn. It's a very. You have to be very hot to burn up all the bones and stuff. If he's trying to dispose of evidence, and you're not going to do that in your backyard, you might as well just put them where somebody might not know what they are.
All right.
Anyway, the little do they know, though, that phrase is sort of bugging me because they like his whole purpose was to resurrect the dead.
Yes.
He should have some idea that it might work.
Maybe he tried on one body, but being like all in the swamp water just kind of leached out into the rest.
Maybe.
Or
like it failed on one body because it died of like being decapitated, and he's like, well, like it needs to have a certain amount of tissue still around.
Right.
The experiments rise to life, quote unquote. A lot of quotes in this one, and wreak havoc, which is underlined by Google because I think it's supposed to be wreak havoc on a group of students conducting science experiments at the swamplands. All right.
That's called making the drugs.
We're like the police knock on the door and they've got a meth
We're doing
lab.
science, sir. Answer in full lab coat with goggles. Sir, I am doing science. Okay, we gotta go. He's doing science. Can't ask questions. I'm not. Are you a scientist? Didn't think so. Come on.
With the help of a swamp hermit, a beautiful, innocent bystander, by the way, no genders given, a park ranger, and the
New
police.
rule. Every time we describe someone as attractive and they're not specified as lady, they are a dude.
It is this.
We're gonna gender equalize this podcast.
Again, swamp hermit ugly as a box of rocks, though. And the police captain also. Oh, yeah, park ranger, police captain, swamp hermit, no attractiveness scale, but that innocent bystander, very beautiful. They try to piece together what has gone on, ... as well as survive.
Again, I feel that's an unspoken goal in every movie ever.
Yeah, like literally every one of them, even like the
like
ones...
romantic comedies, and I also plan not to die this weekend.
I'm eating food.
And hoping not to die. Okay? Thanks for sharing. Glad you made the food. Oh boy.
We're going to wrap this one up. I think I did not plan very well, Brantley, because we do have another swamp zombies. And I think that's going to have to wait till next week.
Ooh, cliffhanger.
Yes, that's right. Cliffhanger. We find out if they survive. So anyway, thank you guys so much for listening. If you like this show, be sure to tell a friend about us. Yes, about us, about it. But just tell a friend. Just talk. Just have some friends. Do you have friends?
Socialize, man.
Friends are good. They're a very important part of your happiness in your life. And also,
it'll be a new fake T-shirt I make. Friends are good.
Is that you make all these T-shirts, but you make them on like a platform where only you can buy them, which is odd to me.
Was the first one I found.
Okay, fair enough.
I sent you the link to where you can buy them.
I thought about it, but I was just, like, it was too much work, and I didn't have any money at the time, and I want to buy the Lego Worlds expansion with the monsters in it.
There you go.
So, yes. But anyway,
if you want to know what we're talking about, follow us on Twitter.
Yes, follow us on Twitter. I'm at Albert_Berg, like an iceberg. That's BERG. It's not a bird. It's not a flappy thing. It has a G, and it's an ER before that. Brantley's at Adma Brantley.
91.
At ADMA Brantley, BRANTLEY 91.
Yes.
I did it right.
Yeah.
Anyway.
You're one up on my mother. Good job.
Bye, guys. I'm two up on your mother because I know your Twitter handle.
Woo!